Okay, now it's time to personalize your art project here and make it a beautiful piece of art. Now, what I would say, I'm going to walk you through a couple things to make it prettier. First of all, if you go to your Data tab, all of these little check marks, you can make the variables visible or invisible. And I think if you're, for your art project, you might want to turn those off so you don't have numbers in the middle of your art, unless you like numbers in the middle of your art. Now, another thing is the cat. I mean, the cat's great, but it's kind of in the way of your squares. So if you don't like that cat, you could go to the looks block, grab a hide, and make sure you put it after the initial setup. So that way the cat just hides, and all you see is his marking, his square. So also, you might not want to have a big grid. So if you go with me down here, there's the cat, and then if you go over here to the left, you'll see this thing called the stage. When you click on stage, that changes your options here. If you click on backdrop, there are a couple different backdrops you could choose from. You could make another one, paint another one, you can do anything you want, whatever works for you. Now, once you've done that, I'm going to go back and click on the cat again and go into the cat scripts, which is his brain. Now I want to show you some options you have here with the pen tool. Pen is green here. These options, setting your pen color, setting your pen shade, are pretty cool. You may do that when things are getting started. And then you might also do changing the pen shade and changing the pen color. So setting and changing are two different things. Setting is, what you would do when you get things set up. I want it to start off at a certain color and shade. And then as the program runs, you may change it at certain times, a little bit or a lot, depending on what you think is the best. But basically, the color is exactly what it sounds like, the color. You can have options, I think, between 0 and 200. The shade is how dark it is, and I think 0 would make it as like super dark, and then 100 makes it super bright, almost white. So you can combine those two things to get almost any color that you would want. So those are some items you might play with and put those around in your program and see how you like those. One other thing I would say is you can change how many repeats you have, so you can change how many squares you end up with. You can also play with, down here in your resize square, there's nothing that says that these legs have to be 1/4 and 3/4. You can change these as long as you change them together. They still have to add up to 1 because you're breaking that side length into pieces. But you can change these ratios as long as you do all the rest of your math correctly. Everything else will fall into place. So you can kind of change the way that your program looks, change the colors, change the shades. You can just do really anything that you want. Make it as beautiful as you want. And then when you love it, if you right click on it, you can save a picture of it. So you'll have it always. So what I want you to do is generate some art for me. Play around, play with the colors, play with the shades, play with just whatever you want to, and make it beautiful. Maybe you'll end up with something gorgeous and unique and mathy. Enjoy.